What's up, guys? I hope you're all doing well, and thank you so much for popping into my review for The Accountant 2. Just like Den of Thieves 2, which took a lot of years for a sequel to be made, this comes around a few months after that, which that basically opened the year. That came out in the beginning of January. Now here we are in the end of April with The Accountant 2. Another long-awaited sequel. A lot of people didn't know when this movie was going to happen. I've been hearing about this movie for years. And finally, it's happening. And it happened. And it stars, once again, Ben Affleck as Christopher. And you also have his brother, played by Jon Bernthal, who is terrific in the Daredevil series, which I just watched, by the way. I've been wanting to do a video on it. I just haven't had the time to do it. I loved Jon Bernthal as that character. And he's basically Frank Castle in this movie as well. He's a toned down version, in a sense, of Frank Castle, the Punisher. There's a few scenes when he gets injured, the screams he makes and the cries of pain, but also anger, is very similar to him in that role. So he's great in this movie, and that's why you see this film, is the banter and the back and forth between Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal. These brothers who grew apart and finally met again and then grew apart again. So it's these two trying to reconcile their issues with each other and work together. And what they're working to succeed, it's an okay story. I understood it, but I didn't think it was anything that original. And I thought the story was a little cliched and basic. Now, the first film, there was a lot of storylines going on. There was a lot going on in that movie. This film, I think, is a little more focused, but what you're focusing in on, I wasn't too enthused by. What I was enthused by was Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal. So they're the faces of the film, and they carry you through it. I did really like this movie. I think it's better than the first movie, actually. I think this movie is probably, even though it does feel a little longer, which it is probably a little longer, and it feels a little long, the middle of the film is kind of slow. The first act and the third act, the beginning and the end of the movie, I thought were great. It was just the middle of the film that kind of slowed down for me. And a lot of it was developing and setting up and explaining the storyline of this girl they're looking for. And that's all I'll really say without getting into it. But I didn't care about that character or her storyline. I did really like watching this movie. I thought it was really well put together. The action was fantastic. You go to this movie to see an action film, and you get that. What I'll say about The Accountant 2, it's a little long. It's got great action, really good characters, likable characters, and characters you care about, and the leads and their performances. You don't really care about the storyline, but the action is great. And after you leave, you're like, you know what? I'd like an Accountant 3. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I'm invested into these characters at this point. So the use of the characters from the first movie, it's not just Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal. The return is other actors and actresses as well from that first film. How they are used through the story of this, I thought was kind of interesting. And I liked that element of it as well. So in the end of the day, The Accountant 2, it's not one of the best movies of the year, but I think it's in the tier under that. And I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. So that's my thoughts on the film, guys. Comment down below. Do you plan on seeing this movie? Did you see the first one? What are you seeing this weekend? A lot of releases. You're going to go see the new A24 film, which I've got a review for up now, The Legend of Ochi. Are you going to go see Until Dawn? I'll be seeing that Saturday night and post a review for it. And I'll also be getting ready to see Revenge of the Sith in theaters for its 20th anniversary, and I will certainly be doing a review for that, as I've just reviewed its predecessor, Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. That's up on the channel now. And guys, you can follow me on Twitter and or X at RyanKing72 and Instagram and TikTok at KingRises131. That's been it for me. Thank you so much for watching my review for The Accountant 2. And until next time, over and out.